Weeb here.
AB here.
So we have a special
Weeb talk.
anime review
Yeah.
and Weeb talk. Yep.
It's an exciting one. So what are we reviewing today?
Terror in Resonance.
Resonance? Something like that.
Yes. 11 episodes.
11 episodes. Definitely unique. I think it's like a 4.9 rating on Crunchyroll.
Yep.
As of the last time I looked. So not horrible, not great. So we'll just kind of give you our take about it.
Pretty sure it's created by Mappa. I think Mappa created it, at least from when I was checking it out. From first initial impressions, I'll say episode 1 is absolutely incredible. I really liked episode 1. You got these characters and they're already blowing up buildings, and they have an objective. And
yeah, so like Weave here was saying, they're terrorists, and the first episode is actually really well animated in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And so you kind of hop right into it. You get introduced to the characters. You don't quite know what's happening. Get introduced to one character that you find out later on is somewhat important to it.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, they blow up a building. And just so you know, there's going to be spoilers in this, so just get ready for that.
Yes, and you know what? The way that they animated, the stuff exploding and, just the debris of everything and the creativity is absolutely incredible in this show.
Yeah.
So that part is, all of that is incredible.
So animation for me throughout I would say the majority of the anime was really good. I think the last few episodes, I can't tell you if it's 4 or 5 episodes, but the last few episodes, it feels like the animation quality drops just a little bit, but I think they blew all their budget in the first couple. But I will say, especially on episode 4, for me, the music, the musical score on that was beautiful. I loved episode 4. Episode 4 was probably my favorite episode. Mm-hmm. It was really, really good. This anime is definitely a different one from what I'm used to watching.
Yep.
So it wasn't bad, just not what I'm typically, so you have your main characters, as you find out, 9 and 12. And What was her name?
I think her name's Lisa.
Lisa or something? She's useless. Okay, so here comes the rant. Here comes the rant for me.
Well, hang on. I do have some good perks about this too. And I can't remember the episode itself, but again, if it was Mappa that created this, the explosions of bombs, because you meet certain other characters that have certain objectives, and again, from the whole bomb explosions are, absolutely incredible. And I will say this, just from my point of view, just from seeing this first episode, these first 2 episodes, I'll really say, I have a different vision. So just like what AB was saying, I was thinking that these characters, were going to be some kind of threat. And just seeing episode 1 was just it gets you hooked so good.
Yeah.
It's just, everything you see about it is incredible. And so that's why I'm like, all right, this is a good choice for me and AB to start reviewing. And all right, I'll let AB take the scene here.
Going off of what you said, for me, I want to say it was episode 5. After episode 5, for me, that's when it started kind of going from what I kind of thought it was. That's when you get introduced to 5, I do believe her name was. Yep. So you go from this really bad animation and anime that you are okay, they're just terrorists, they're gonna go blowing up stuff. Again, spoiler. So you go from that to then all of a sudden you start finding out a little bit more backstory very slowly, and then you get introduced to this another character that's an actual, I would say, bad girl. She's the bad guy, who's kind of trying to stop 9 and 12. But not really. You'll find out that that's not really what her whole objective was. It was just kind of playing this game with Nine.
Yes.
So it just felt just a little unfinished and unthought. Like just kind of again, you go in, at least I did, with an expectation. These guys are going to be terrorists. They're going to blow things up. This is what it's going to be. And then you'll find out later why they're doing it. But then it just kind of took a left field and just did something that it
Yeah, and
wasn't expecting.
I'll add to it too. Like you got these characters, they have an objective with what? The FBI, the police,
I
the
would say the
investigation
world.
team. They have this whole, objective, which again at first is like, okay, this is cool, but then like I think there's a lot of this stuff in the story where they do stuff about like maybe back in time, with like
Flashback.
goddesses, and of course I spoiled that a little bit, but even then it's like some stuff that I feel like for me was irrelevant to really the story. I feel like we could have had more character development and knowing about more of what these characters do, because I feel like in when it finally hits the fan, you really don't know anything about these characters, at least in terms of wanting to grow with the characters, and there just wasn't enough with that. I feel like it was just so wanting to be so fast paced, you really just it doesn't slow down in that regard. So you never enjoy the characters of what they actually are. You just have this objective and A to B and you're there.
Hmm. And for me, I think it's like not till like the last 2 or 3 episodes is where you really get the backstory, and then you really figure out why they're doing what they're doing. But going off of what you were saying, kind of like back in the Sparta day or the God days, were having a chess game, and not the chess game 5 and 9 was having, but the chess game between them and the detectives. It really gave me Death Note vibes for me personally,
Uh-huh.
because like when we were first watching this, I was telling Weeb here, I was like, this is like representing to me like Death Note. You know how there was Light Yagami, and what was the detective in Death
I
Note?
forgot his name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
guy.
not
We
coming to
all
me
know.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, we all know. But it really gave me that, because like they would throw like they would get on the interwebs and throw, oh, this is where the next bomb's planning, and then the one detective was really smart and figuring it out and stuff. So it really gave me that. So for me, I was getting really hyped. Like I was saying off those first few episodes, I
Yeah.
was like, let's go. And then it just took a left field. It was like they had an idea and then like, nope.
Yeah, like the detective himself I feel like has more development than all the other characters. Like you really bond with him because he goes through so much in the anime itself, and you kind of see like what he's struggling with
Mm-hmm.
because he wants to figure this stuff out. And again, like you feel like it's more about like, 9 and 12 and all these characters, but really I feel like it's not really puzzled around that.
Yeah.
That's just from what, because you're just there's so much focus on just the detective himself that it really loses focus on everything else when you have these other characters that you're really revolved around. But again, you're just like one character's more the quiet type, and then you got this other character that's just sporadic and doing stuff on his own, which I don't know if it's smart or not. And then you got this other girl that's also involved,
Useless.
and really she does absolutely nothing to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even need her. Like if she was cut out from the story, it was more like it's kind of weird. The more I think about it, the more I'm thinking about it. Like you had a whole love relationship with one of the characters. Then of course, like what you were saying to AB was you have another character that you meet from the past that bonds in, you know,
Yep.
and that's really like a relationship thing. Hey, maybe people are into that, but I really again, the characters were so useless in that time because it's so fast paced. You meet this character, you're like, oh, cool, cool. And then maybe episodes or two later, you never know what happens to them, which, spoiler alert, they die. So,
Well, okay. And for me too, like I feel like there's so much going on. Like
yeah.
they were trying to do too much. Like they were trying to do the whole terrorist thing with 9 and 12 and the detective, and then this new person came in, which was 5, and she has a background with 9 and 5, or 9 and 12, and that's why she gets brought in. And then you have that other girl that's just useless. What point besides bringing someone in for for the other guy to fall in love with, or whatever you want to call it. It was like they were doing way, way, way too much. And then this is an extreme spoiler alert for the last episode. So if you don't want to hear it, this is your time to click off. All right. The death scene.
Yes.
They're in the goddamn helicopter. They're sitting there, and the detective's like, I've got this. You guys don't worry about it. And then they come in, and boom, done. And then the one guy croaks too. So then it's like it was so anticlimactic that it was just ridiculous in my opinion. You could, how I felt is like you should have strapped a bomb on your ass and then fucking blew it up. I knew like they got their point across, which again, spoiler alert. The whole point was trying to get the school or whatever thing you want to call it that they were in exposed for all of its corruption. But they could hack everything, and they could have just exposed it by throwing it all out there. They didn't have to be terrorists. They didn't have to do none of that stupid shit. They could have just put it out there, and then it would have came to light.
And you know how crazy this is. We'll go, since AB's talking about that. Like literally, and then a couple episodes ago, you just really find out everything, and you really just think it's not a big deal, because in the end, it's really not a big deal. It's just, I feel like it's just kids just wanting to be kids or something, because
I don't know any kids that can do what those kids did.
That's anime logic for you, though, because I don't even care. And then, like I said, they have a time span. So these are different breeds of children, obviously. They're smart kids.
Yeah, they get
I wish I was smart.
Me too.
But,
kids with autism.
But even then, I feel like this last episode is hilarious to me too, because of course one of the characters dies, and then you got, you kind of want to try and feel for this character that dies, but not really. And even like this Lisa character, she's just like blown away. I feel like I don't even know if there's any tears in that scene, if she's crying or not. No, and she's just there. Yeah, she's just there. Yeah. And I feel like it's just, like when you see like funny dramas,
yeah,
like funny dramas, you're just like, oh, my friend just died. And then all of a sudden this guy dies too. And it's just, and because they don't have a short period, but you mean to tell me that a character dies and then all of a sudden it was his time to die? I just don't understand that logic behind it.
Yeah, like I said, it feels really, really busy. Like they were trying to do too much, and like they rushed everything. I don't think they had enough time to do what they wanted to do, personally.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, though, the pluses too are the animation. Pluses, animation. The soundtrack is actually absolutely incredible.
Yes. And
the opening is pretty good after a couple tries for me. I'm really hard to impressed when it comes down to the opening, but it became to where I heard it every time. And people, of course, you could skip it away on Crunchyroll or whatever. But I just heard it every time. It wasn't a bother for me.
Now, real quick, since you brought that up, are you guys one to stick around and listen to the openings and outros every time? Or are you skipping them every time? I'm in the skip. I want to get straight to the action. Like, I might listen to them once or twice. But I'm straight to the action.
Okay, now hear me out on this one, all right? So, like, I will do this, okay? I will skip it in, like, the first, like, maybe 6 or 7 episodes of the anime itself. That way, because they reuse footage and then they put it in the opening. So then I don't want to get that spoiled for me. So then I skip it. Well, once I get around that 7 or 8, and I'm actually kind of like, all right, I'll hear this opening. That's when I usually will really like hearing the opening and then not minding it at all. And I will tell you about this show too as well, is that when it got to episode 11, because I thought there was 12 episodes.
Me too.
And so when I got to episode 11, I just thought, thank goodness it is over. It is over, because I was like, man, I got another 12 episodes of this, or I got another episode of this, because it's just, casual anime is 12 episodes. So I just thought we got one more, which thank God this one didn't, because the characters and everything they just didn't get it to me. The dub is good though.
Yes.
The dub is good.
Yeah, there's sub and dub.
Yes.
On that note though too, it's funny that you said that. So for me though, it was 10. It was episode 10. Because everything happened. Everything was done. He put that bomb up in the air. Everything was done. on episode done, he did the EMP. It was all done on 10. 11 was just they went back to their old fucking school, and that's where they were gonna do whatever the fuck they did, and the detective found them. So 10 they could have done. 10 I thought was it. I was like, okay. So I knew there was at least 2 more episodes. Again, I thought there was 12. So I was like, what the fuck are we gonna do for 2 more episodes? Thankfully, that wasn't the case. There was one more full episode, and again, it was pointless.
And here's the other thing too is that what I loved about this ending so much is because the main characters die, and then a little bit of time passes, and you just have this Lisa character, which I don't get. Like she's going to meet the characters, I'm guessing at the burial or whatever,
Yeah.
and she's talking to the detective, talking about hope and stuff like that. That the whole character's thing was hope, which is hilarious because in this show you really don't even meet. His character development is so bad you don't even know anything about him.
Yeah.
In the whole show. So then it just makes me laugh that the ending she's just talking about, trying to leave it in a positive note, and you really don't have it because you don't even know this character. You don't even know any of these characters so much.
You met him, got blackmailed, saying either you come with us, you be accessory to it. So you come with us or you're gonna die. And then you got a lost little puppy from there on out that causes actually more problems than anything. And then all of a sudden they fall in love, and too busy doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because you got this group of people that, again, they're just calling in, they have an agenda. Then you get this Lisa character, and this Lisa character is just there. Mm-hmm. She's just depressed. She has no reasoning of living at all. And to be fair with you, it's like the whole show. It's not even there is no upbeat for her to come back to maybe turn things around in her life. And I feel like you really don't even have that at all. And maybe she does. After those 2 characters die, she looks happy at the end for some reason. Yeah. But you really don't know anything about. I mean, well, you kind of do fix her character, but even then, it's just. Yeah. I'm kind of done with that.
All right. And my final thoughts. Okay. In my final thoughts, I definitely think the animation is really good. I really enjoyed the music. The story was mid. It was all right. It was definitely not my favorite. So my kind of rating for this, I would say it's probably a good solid 6. It's not. I've seen worse. I've seen way better. But I think the thing that saves it for me is the music and the animation. So I don't want to give it a 4. So I'll give it a little bit better than a 5, which for me 5 is like just mid. So, but that's what saves it for me. So I'll give it a 6, and a very low 6 at that, but a 6 for me. I think I'd recommend this anime if you got nothing else to watch and you just want to watch something. But I would have way better other recommendations other than this one. But I probably wouldn't recommend it, honestly. No, I probably wouldn't recommend it. What's your thoughts?
I'm kind of on AB's side as well. He gave it a 6. I'm thinking about a 5. If I'm going 5 out of 10, I would definitely give this a 5. Again, the music is incredible, the soundtrack to it, and then the animation is great too. If you're expecting a lot of bombs in the show, you're going to be disappointed. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's sad to say, but the show's about bombs, but I feel like it's not really about it. The characters are just so bland for me that it was so hard for me to even enjoy the development between any of them. So it starts good, but it just degrades so fast because you want to know more and you don't really know more in this show.
I agree. Well, would you recommend this anime?
I wouldn't recommend you to this anime at all, honestly. I think the only way that I would really would say go ahead is if you like maybe the throwbacks to find the the puzzles and stuff like that in the show, because there's a bunch of puzzles that the detectives have to
Yeah.
follow. If you really like that kind of stuff, then maybe that would be your kind of thing,
Yeah.
you know. But I'm too dumb. I would have never even figured out any of the stuff that they did, you know. So
Same here, with that though, just go watch Death Note.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, this
better
was like
ending.
a wannabe, crappier version of Death Note.
But it did have good animation.
Yes,
So
and soundtrack was really good. The beginning, again, I want to say the first 4 episodes, maybe first 5, really, really was solid, really, really good. And then, boop.
I remember, messaging AB like just these last like couple episodes, because I enjoyed the fact that like he kind of egged me on in a way to where like you'll see what happens next, and then I get to this ending, and I'm just like. I remember messaging him and just like going off on him just about how just ridiculous this ending was,
Yeah, and it's like I wasn't spoiling it for him, but because I wanted him to watch it, but it's like I knew what I was doing to him.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been a while since we did a Weeb talk, and it's always exciting just to talk about anime,
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video.
Yeah. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Weeb out.
AB out.